In the northern Israeli city of al-Fahm, large crowds of demonstrators gathered, bringing together both Israeli activists and Palestinian residents in a joint protest against the Gaza war. Marchers carried banners, chanted slogans, and called for an immediate end to the fighting. Police were deployed in significant numbers, attempting to block and contain the protest. Despite those efforts, demonstrators continued to move forward, determined to have their voices heard. The event drew attention not only for its size, but also for the rare display of unity between Israelis and Palestinians, both demanding an end to the war. The protest unfolded as the humanitarian situation in Gaza has continued to deteriorate. In recent months, Israel has tightened restrictions by closing all border crossings and preventing the flow of essential aid, including food, medicine, and fuel. Aid trucks have piled up at the border, unable to reach civilians inside Gaza, creating fears of famine and worsening shortages. Since October of 2023, the conflict has exacted a devastating toll. Reports estimate that more than 66,000 Palestinians have been killed, many of them women and children, as a result of sustained bombardments. The destruction has left entire neighborhoods uninhabitable, while hospitals and clinics struggle to operate without power, fuel, or medical supplies. The humanitarian crisis has also triggered outbreaks of disease, with contaminated water and limited sanitation making survival increasingly difficult. International organizations have repeatedly warned of starvation spreading across Gaza, as relief agencies face insurmountable barriers to deliver even the most basic supplies. For demonstrators in al-Fahm, these conditions have become impossible to ignore. Many who joined the protest emphasized the urgency of stopping the war and ending policies that block humanitarian assistance. Some carried signs calling for peace, while others demanded accountability from political leaders. The appearance of Israeli lawmakers, including Knesset member Ofer Kasif, underscored the political dimension of the protest. Speaking to reporters, Kasif described the ongoing crisis as unsustainable, urging immediate steps to protect civilian lives and restore humanitarian access. While the Israeli government has defended its military campaign as a necessary response to security threats, growing criticism at home and abroad has fueled demonstrations like the one in al-Fahm. The protest highlighted the deep divisions within Israeli society over how the war has been conducted and the mounting pressure on leaders to change course. As night fell, protesters continued chanting, their banners illuminated by streetlights and police vehicles. Though heavily monitored by security forces, the demonstration remained a powerful reminder of the rising public discontent over the Gaza conflict. The scenes in al-Fahm captured not only a moment of protest, but also the broader struggle of a region grappling with war, humanitarian catastrophe, and the demand for peace.
نحن في اللجنة الشعبية سنستمر دائما ضد هذا العدوان حتى توقف هذه الحرب. أم الفحم نموذجا من أجل أن نعرف العالم بأجمع أننا سنستمر دائما ضد الظلم وضد هذا الحرب الإبادة.
We just finished a demonstration in al-Fahm in face of the police that continuously been trying to prevent demonstrations, especially of Arabs and in Arab towns and villages. So we finished peacefully this demonstration against the continuation of the genocide in Gaza and the ethnic cleansing in the West Bank, also calling for the release of the hostages. We must say that too, in addition to ending the massacre in Gaza. Few words about what was published yesterday. I refuse to refer to Trump's, Netanyahu's proposal as a plan. It has no schedule, it has no tactics of implementation, so many missing things and holes in this proposal. In addition to that, you cannot dance tango alone. The Palestinians were not there. Nobody from the Palestinian, among the Palestinian representatives was there. The Palestinian Authority and PLO, the only legitimate representative of the Palestinian people, were not there and were actually not only marginalized but excluded. How can we reach a serious accord without the representation of the Palestinians? That is something we should bear in mind. If this proposal is going to end the bloodshed, so of course I greet it, I welcome it, but if the Palestinian people is not going to be free, if the Palestinian people are not liberated from the occupation, from death, starvation, etc., so on top of not being just, we won't get peace and we won't get security and we won't get any kind of solution. In order to get a solution, we need a Palestinian liberation. That's the only way, and we should continue struggling for that. Well, Tony Blair has the experience in two manners. First, he's a well-known war criminal, and I'm talking specifically about his role in the massacre in Iraq. So, as someone who is well experienced in war crimes and in massacre and genocide, perhaps he's the best person for the continuation of the genocide and war crimes in Gaza. Secondly, as a former Prime Minister of England, or if you like, Britain, of course we are dealing with an ex-empire that normally ruled half of the world by governors. And this is something that is probably eager to get, a position of a governor, of a colonialist, imperialist governor of a foreign people. That's not acceptable. And I wouldn't like to say anything about yes or no to this plan. I mean, this is a very, very complex situation and very tough situation, because accepting the plan seems to be, dangerous in the long run. Rejecting it is very dangerous in the short run, because people are continue to die and be killed, and we have to stop it. As I said before, we have to not only to stop, mainly to stop the genocide, also to release the hostages. And if the plan contributes to that, we cannot say no. But in the long run, we cannot and will not accept the continuation of the occupation, the marginalization and exclusion of the Palestinian people, and their subjugation. We will not accept that. So we have to think about it very carefully. And I think the same about the Arab countries. I must say that if the Arab countries were involved 2 years ago, perhaps all this terrible genocide and the fate also of the hostages could be prevented. Unfortunately, they didn't. And so what they do now is too little, too late, and perhaps counterproductive. We have to think about it.